Ah, Khosi Nation. Sanbonan makhosi amahle. I hope everyone is doing good. It's the first day of the month. It's the 1st of March. Obviously, it's my birthday month. But yeah, we are not here to talk about that. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling brand new. Yeah, there's a lot of things to celebrate and to feel happy about. But other than that, we will be looking at, the co-coaches and what has been said about them. And then also we're going to be looking at why one of our key players or key goalkeeper, I can say, was not available for the clash against Orlando Pirates on the Soweto Derby. Very, very important match, which, by the way, he managed to miss. And to tell you right now the truth, it was not on intention, guys, what happened with Umjita Wetulapana, our first choice, because our first skipper, I don't think he would have considered as many goals as Udid Lapa Ubabvuma. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, Jobang Shilo, there's a message here clearly indicated to our co-coaches. Yes, Sponili Pachita managed to come up with a good plan for tomorrow, no, for yesterday's game, a good strategy. And just yesterday, guys, Coach Nabi made a post on Instagram. The post reads as follows. It's Bible verses. And I saw it's fitting ukuthi ngifunde nje namhlanje njengoba kuyiSunday. It's a Sunday ilanga lesonto. So this is what the coach is saying. He says, out of arrogance upon the earth and evil plotting. But evil plotting only falls back upon those who devised it. 43. And Allah knows, while the wrongdoers, they already sought discord before and had upset matters for you until the truth came and the command of Allah prevailed. Though they were averse, if good befalls you, it grieves them, but if misfortune strikes you, they say, we had taken our precautions beforehand, and they turn away while they are rejoicing. 9:47 to 50. And they had planned their plan, but their plan was known to Allah, even if their plan had been such as to move mountains. 14:46. They planned and Allah also planned, and Allah is the best of planners. Verse 8, chapter 30. Sorry guys, I'm not too sure if Tsali verse landed chapter landed a verse, but I think that's how it is. And then going back, this one is quite interesting. Going back, Jobang Shilo, I will just try to simplify, those verses. Quick. So, in simple terms, this is what the coach is trying to say. People may act with arrogance, they can be jealousy, they can have bad intentions towards you, they may plot, spread or hope ukuthi no nakanjani they see you fail. But ama-plans wabo, whatever the plans that they devise, at the end of the day they do not succeed. The reason being is because uNkulunkulu ubona everything. That is true. God says all. And despite you planning with I mina ngizenza kanje ngivalile loyana, at the end of the day God plans better. You can plan, but God plans better. So no matter how strong or clever people think their plans are, uNkulunkulu is always planning greater. And nakanjani, he always wins. He's God Almighty. Come on, there's no way ahlala ngawini. So as I was trying to say, it's just, let's say this is like a reminder. Go sure to know, whatever happens, just stay patient. Don't fear ukuthi abantu baplota bayenzani against you. Just make sure ukuthi wena you trust kuNkulunkulu and bekelele nje ezandleni zakhe, justice will prevail. That's it. Lekela abantu, let me just say it like this. Let people plan, God plans better. Ay, angishayela message enhle kahle. Inhle kakhulu le message engithole ku Coach Nabi. But anyways, moving on guys, we do have to talk about now. Brandon Peterson now, he was not available yesterday when we played the biggest game. I believe he would have loved to be here. He would have loved to, show up and, make sure that he continues with Okay, by the way, this is the verse from Nabi. You can see it. Screenshot was taken 34 minutes ago, not today, but it was yesterday. So, despite the game, not having Brandon Peterson, I know he would have loved to play because I feel like so far is the only goalkeeper that we have. Itwari for me is the second best. Uvuma no. Maybe if bangamnikeza more chances, maybe he can deliver. But for me, I do not see any change. I do not see any improvement. In fact, I see the worst performance coming from Bruce Vuma. But with Brandon Peterson, according to the coaches, he had to go for a surgery. So this is one of the reasons why we did not get to see him. He was, out because of that. So you guys benching, because for me I was like, man, this doesn't make any sense. Why do we bring in Vuma? Where is Vuma coming from? And as Udala, a big game like this one. And Mbonile, guys, you all saw for yourselves how Bruce Vuma, every shot that was taken, be straight to Pali Nguye. And it's a bit of a problem. It's a bit of a problem. You come saying right now, I do not see any improvement from Bruce Vuma. So Brandon Peterson, unfortunately, is out because of that. Hopefully, he can be back. I honestly miss him. We just lost him for one game, and I feel like, if we are going to play in A3, because we are playing, I think, on the 3rd this month against the Richards Bay. So we need to be solid. We need to be solid, guys. I do not want to lie to you. We need solidarity. And I feel like maybe Singapore Ntwari, because at the end of the day, Uvuma is not gonna give us. And one thing I saw about Ntwari was he was trying to prove and trying to fight for the club, which is something that is lacking from Obaba Vuma. And then jumping to the comments, guys, I do have Katleho. QP Vuma must go. Yeah, but you know how your club operates. They will give him a contract. They will give him a contract. Why? We still have even Abu Bontle. Bontle has never gotten a chance. I don't know why. And then we have Tim Dow says, now I'm tired of those two. Yet I understand. Vuma, the coaches, Modi and Lilepo, let them go. I think I agree with you. I'm not gonna disagree. Hey, Nabi's post got me laughing. Definitely. It's true. It's true, D. Because at the end of the day, you might think when pile, but whatever you do, thinking other people will not know about it, they will know, and it's gonna come back and it will bite you. That's it. No matter what, it's gonna come back and it's going to bite you. Guys, let's be honest. Nabi is not a bad coach. This guy has a proven record. Let's be honest. The only thing that people are not looking at is the fact that Kaizer Chiefs management failed Coach Nabi. They failed him to the point. I will be shocked if Kaizer Chiefs can be able to find a good coach with a proven record who's willing to come and coach Kaizer Chiefs. That is going to be interesting from my perspective, because we know how they operate. We know what they want. They are always planning on what they want, not what the team needs. You understand? So if they find a good coach with a proven record, top quality coach, no, whatever they're using, it's definitely working. But for now, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't believe it's gonna happen. The coach that we're going to get is probably someone esingakaze nje sizwe ngaye. Nakhona it will depend on the situation, because right now a lot of people, all of us, we're waiting to see or hear a statement from Kaizer just saying, no, definitely we have fired, or maybe he's told us something through our trusted sources that says no, Kaizer Chiefs is currently actively busy looking for a coach, but it looks like they're still relaxed. They do not have any pressure. So as I said before, Bona, they are happy with what is happening. They are not looking at, what the club needs. You understand? It's all about their needs, not the club needs. Sas. KG. KG says it was never gonna be better for Vuma in his last appearance. His confidence dropped, and having to come back now, got this big game. Any goalkeeper wouldn't have had it easy. Our defense was also bad, but he could have done a lot better. Vuma could have showed a lot of character to show he understands what is at stake. I would understand if it was on Twara. Twara doesn't know anything about Soweto Derby. He's never played before. He doesn't understand this much anticipation. But with Vuma has the club history. He's one of our youngest goalkeepers. He's supposed to know this. This is something that he needs to know himself. He's even had talks with Itumele Nkune. I remember Itu Kune talked about this and said, no, I've had a talk with the goalkeepers currently at Kaizer Chiefs about this and this and that. Motivate, advise them, in big games. But what is happening with him? What is happening with him? Nothing. And for me, I feel like when you get it to a stage that is as big as this one, you try by all means to impress, so that we know what definitely we are making a mistake by benching him. But now, do we feel like we are making a mistake by benching Vuma? No, we feel like it's the right call and he should remain there until as a hump. You understand? So I don't know, but that's just how I feel. And then again, KG, how I really wish Peterson can take a bit longer to improve while we get to witness the best improvement from Vuma. I honestly don't think that is going to happen from Vuma, because Vuma is one goalkeeper that was better. Let's be honest. Vuma was better, but he became worse. I don't understand how. Instead of improving, he just constantly became worse. And it looks like he's getting even worse. But if you say we can give him another chance, but one thing I can say is, at least if best win our games. So now we're not going to be able to win games, and also we're going to be conceding a lot more goals. That 3-0 Zolo is not just sheer luck. It's again. Let's be honest. It can still happen. Okay, D, no updates about the two plumbers leaving. Well, as I've said, it doesn't look like Kaizer Chiefs is looking for a new coach currently, and it doesn't look like they want to let go of them. So, the rumors that I got from one of my trusted sources, Ngashuti is someone that I believe, maybe they were not accurate, maybe they've changed their mind, I don't know. But I will be here to update you in terms of that. And then KG again, we honestly shouldn't press hard on the coaches. Our players are also not serious. You can tell from how they take their shots. They just never intentional. You know where the problem starts, KG. Let me just explain something quickly. The problem is when you don't have a coach. When you don't have a coach, players tend to think we can do whatever we want. You understand? We can do whatever we want, which it's something that I feel like I have spoken about it before, but I feel like when you don't have someone to lead, someone to give instructions, someone, I understand. Players should not be afraid of the coaches or the coach or whoever is in charge, but they should respect him. But those players, they don't look like they respect our coaches. It's like, yeah, fine, there's nothing that they can tell us. There's nothing that we can do about this. Even if they are given clear instructions, you could see sometimes they get frustrated, those coaches, because you can see, but they still do whatever they want to do. And not just only that, motivation. Where is motivation going to come from? Because we need one voice that no matter what is happening, this guy is going to be there for me and is going to give me proper advice, proper hope. Things are going to get better and it will work. Currently, another thing, structure. We don't have a clear structure of how we are playing. Everything is changing. If we have two coaches, it's going to be a problem, because this one coach will want to do things and the other one will want to do things. Where is the consistency in that? Where is the consistency? How are we going to improve if we are always changing. We are always changing players. We don't have a clear structure. Let me tell you something about a team like Orlando Pirates or Mamelodi Sundowns. Those guys have a clear structure. Sundowns has lost it a bit. I think they are not using that structure that they used to have. But let's say we have a proper working structure. We know whatever happens at the club, even if we can change a player and bring that player, lenting millions is. But with us, when we change, it's like, now we are just gonna hope things are gonna be better. You saw what happened. Evidence Mahopa. Every time he came in, and he was always substituted when it comes to Derby and the Magafiga Oyakora, because definitely it's a structure that works for them. They know Naranjan on the Derby, Sfago Evidence Mahopa on the late minutes, and he's gonna score. And definitely that is what happens. But with us, does it happen? No, because once we change, we're like, okay, we are relying on this player, but Malinga Kolelo player, nothing is going to happen. So we need you see what is happening currently with who can I make an example with? Let's say, for example, I don't even know who to make an example with, because it's difficult. But I can make an example with okay, let me just use Omaboy for example. If we can take out Maboy and bring in Ox, do you think we're still gonna have those passes that we were getting from Maboy? No, we are not. Because why? Two different players. The structure is the same, but two different players. And is that a bad thing? No, it's not. It's not a bad thing. But there are certain games, like Melissa's gone out, okay, with a clear structure, those are the kind of players that we need. Yesterday, people were bashing at Ngobo. Ngobo is not a bad player. I'm still going to say it. I've said it yesterday. I'm still going to say it today. I'm going to say it forever. Ngobo is being misunderstood. There are games, there are slow tempo games where Ngobo can play and shine. Nakona, we have to remember, he's not an original central midfielder. Umchita is an attacking midfielder. Let's be honest about that. And then we play him on the central. He's supposed to detect the tempo of the game. You find that the game is too quick for him. What happens? He becomes slow because Yamaz, he's slow. Is it something new? No, it's not. Something that we've always known. He's slow. And then instead of giving him that chance to, okay, let's not play him here. Let's play him on a different position, because definitely this game is a high tempo game for him. Mina, I'm telling you guys, if Ngobo was playing as an attacking midfield Izolo, and then we had a player maybe like Ox, and then maybe paired with Maboye, even though they both can play that position, I know Maboya would have been a lot better on that central midfield. Why? I know he's good with recoveries, he's good with passes, his vision. So Ox besides with Tixeneni, Ilafia and Value Con, we are Ivala. And then with Maboya, we boss the midfield. When goes in Ngobo, his primary duty is to make sure he deliver those champagne passes up front, and also he's creating space for himself to play mostly like a second striker. But do we have that kind of vision? No, I did not see. And also, in a game like this one, we need players with more experience. So at least if Oserino was in, when we made a substitution, but we made a substitution and brought in a different player, Ashley Dupreez. I understand he's good with speed, but also let's be honest, guys, and it will feel like I hate this guy, which I do not. Dupreez is good with runs, but there's no improvement in terms of your finishing yak, and I don't blame him. Let's be honest about that. I blame Dupreez. I blame Kaizer Chiefs, because they are the ones responsible in making sure Cheetah as a center forward. When you work on your defense, you also need to work on your offense. You can't just say defensively we are good. Simnand Shahid. Same problem is the one that I'm seeing with Flavio Silva. Silva is good offensively, but defensively he's not that great. And clearly it shows this is a problem coming from the coaching side. What are we doing? Was also coach to know we are working on making sure on the next game we win. But what are you working on? Are you fixing mistakes, or are you constantly planning for new things that are not going to happen? Because if you understand this is the problem that you have this is where you need to improve. That's one thing I liked about Nabi. He was stubborn, but he understood the assignment. Okay, definitely this is where we are struggling, so I need to make a plan for us to be able to fix this problem. We were solid at the back defensively. And then to Unabi Magabuya, it was a bad timing, I believe. Magabuya, we played against this Kukune. We lost 3-0, and you could see definitely we were using a structure. It's not like we were playing a bad game. We're not. We were playing a very, very good game. But unfortunately, I think we were disappointed by the players or something, and then we lost the game. We made a lot of mistakes also, and then we got punished. You understand? So people thought, come on, this coach, there's nothing here. With just one game. Yeah, there. Anyways, let's leave it. Let me quickly go back to the comments. Where was I? Ayanda. KG, I agree. Technically, we are very poor, and you can also tell from how we don't have a solid starting 11, plus the poor substitutions. Exactly. Also, not just the poor substitutions, but game plan. We don't have a game plan. One thing I used to love about Coach Nabi was the fact that he could go and watch Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates playing. But that was my biggest problem with it. As good as it is, he's not attending other games. And if he could attend all the games, then definitely that was going to help. But I understand maybe there are certain times where he needs to rest and stuff like that. But if he could understand more games, because let's be honest, PSL is hard buffet, and you need to know all those teams. That's one thing a lot of people do not know. You might look at Sundowns, plan for it, play a draw or a shy, and then you come next week, you play against TS Galaxy, and you think just because you've managed to beat Sundowns, TS Galaxy is nothing. But you need to devise a plan against them, because they are good. They can manage to beat Sundowns. What makes you think you can beat them without analyzing them first? That's the only problem that I had with Nabi, unfortunately. But I feel like something that he could have learned on the run, and he could have fixed. But Ayanda, Kaizer is going nowhere with the management we have, so don't expect a new coach to change the chaos that is there. They must pick up if they want to run Chiefs like a tuck shop. That is true, Ayanda. I definitely agree with you. That is what makes us struggle, and it's true, guys. 2 coaches that will rotate every weekend and expect us to win. Exactly. We do not have any consistent. We do not have a proper structure. At least if they were saying it's 2 coaches, but one is in charge, that would make sense, because the other one will just say, okay, I feel like we can add adjustments like this and this and that. And then the other one can say, no, we can't do that because this is a game like this and this and that. But now everyone needs to get a chance. And let's be honest, we've won more games with Khalid in charge than Kaizer. Kaizer, for me, so far, has been the worst coach for us. I do not want to lie. There's nothing that is coming out from Coach Cedric Kaizer and from Tsambamanga. KG, Batman, Velebai, Sereno are not being used while we keep struggling in the final third. And you know, Sereno can give you something. We know Velebai can give you something. Batman can give you something. But we've never played with Batman with Flavio. And I know he can deliver those not just passes, beautiful crosses to get to Silva. Silva is the right man. He's always on the right spot. But Tamapola, you know, only few those that are coming from attacking midfielder, especially a player like Uchislet. Other than that, nothing. South African soccer history, I don't agree. Obo is not a case, it's just material. He's been a promising young star for how many years now? Well, no problem. Let's agree to disagree. Let's agree to disagree. That's the problem. We start treating him as a young star. He's not a young star. Mshini should have been playing a long time ago, but as I've said, we've been playing him on wrong positions, and also there are games that definitely are not for him. You can't say Utalent Mbata every game that is going to play for Orlando Pirates, that is his game. There are games that they play and you can see definitely it's not working for them. Understand? Okay, Pua da Silva is not getting supplied. Definitely. Ngobo was brought back at the wrong wrong time. He's not match fit at all. The coaches should have done better. And not just match fitness, but as I've said, it's a quick game for him. I'm a gamer fast for Ngobo. You can just introduce him if you know you are winning. And then later on, you just need to bring down everything. Just slow it down. Lapuyas, you are winning. Then bring in Ngobo. You're going to get the best performance from him. Ngapa's very stalling a pressure. It's just was worse. Not that I'm defending him, but it's what I'm seeing and it's what I'm understanding with the players. You know, as a coach, you need to understand the players. But okay, this player is good, Magwenze so, low or good, Magwenze so. You know, better understanding of the players, better chances of getting better performances from the team as a whole. But Nele, are those coaches still there? When are they leaving? I honestly don't know. But when they are leaving, I will let you know, guys. I will be here quickly. I will be here. It's what we are expecting with Bahambe, but it doesn't look like Kaizer is ready to let go of them as of yet. Spamandla, we can say whatever we want to say, but in the end of the day, we need a solution to this because we cannot blame coaches all the time. They ignore the players the way they play. We can blame the coaches, we can blame the players, but as I've always said, Nami, let's look at the biggest problem that we have, Kaizer management.